All right, week 2. Let's talk about what my plan is today. So, the last week I was able to complete the front of the chest as well as the back, so the traps and then the lats underneath. So today, my objective, so to speak, is to do the arms. Now, the funny thing is, I've technically done this before in separate pieces. I've done it where I have the deltoids, or I guess like a shoulder pauldron, and then I've also done it as a wrap piece for the upper arms with the the bicep, the tricep, and the back, as well as like a striation in between the two of them. So the tough thing about this is because I want this to have as minimal seams as possible with this particular piece, I'm trying to do it all in one piece. So I realized the best way for me to describe what I was talking about is to show you these pieces in real life. So this was the shoulder pauldron I was talking about, how it's 3 pieces. You have the lateral piece, and then both the anterior and posterior in the back are actually the same pieces. So here I have a bicep tricep piece. So as you can see, the bicep, this striation here where my thumb is, and then the triceps as well. And when I do actually hold it up to it, it does actually line up pretty good already.
Hello, welcome to another VLOGress video. Today's gonna be a little bit different because I've never done this before. So this might work or it might not. We will see. This is what we'll be working on. We're gonna be working on the Bowser skull on my shoulder. And just like any other project, we're gonna start with the template.
Okay, time to heat form this stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use this 3D dome for the deltoids, and then I will use this pylon as well as a teaspoon that I thought I had. Here we go, and then a teaspoon as well for the finer details. So I'm gonna need my heat gun for this. Okay, I'll start with the deltoids first because they're easier, frankly.
Transferred my template onto my pauldron, and as you can see, it's a little too big for my shoulder piece. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to sketch out the appropriate size along with the rest of the design. Here's a template ready to go. As you can see, I only did one side because the design is symmetrical anyways, and I can put more details on later on when the time comes. But for now, here's my base. Let me know if you guys think it's too big or too small. I'm still undecisive about that, but I kind of like how it looks so far.
Okay, so I think now would be a good time to talk about how I was able to turn this piece, right, perfectly flat, into this piece, which is essentially just this thing, but unrolled. So basically what I did was I just heat this thing up with a heat gun to the point where both sides basically looked like they were wet. And you'll see these lines here. You'll see these lines here opened up, right? All these. Well, this one was already wide open, because that was actually a channel that I cut out, as you can see here. But that opened up even some more. This opened up some more too. And then I just heated up to the point where you can see it's kind of shiny, right? And then here it's like completely flat. So you have to get it nice and to the point where both sides look kind of wet. And then I just took this dome down and I forced it to take the shape of the dome. I took this great job pylon and then I just basically pushed it with my hand kind of curved against it as such to form the shape of the triceps, and that's how that's done. So the next step from here is I'm going to glue this ditch into itself, right? So that it maintains its shape, and then on this side you can kind of see almost like a simulated vein popping out of it. But before I do that, I'm actually going to go ahead and fill out these seams here with hot glue, because then we could use contact cement and glue everything together.
Hello, welcome to my floor. We are now going to transfer the template onto some foam. And when you do that, you always want to make sure that you redraw these registration marks and other markings that indicate the top to the bottom, the left to the right, just because once this is cut out, it does get a little confusing. And you want to keep the process as easy as you can. So as you can see, once you cut it out, it looks completely different on the foam. And the whole point is to be able to cut out the rounder pieces. So then once you put it back together again, the foam will reform that shape. And you'll see that in a few minutes. Alright, now it's time to cut out our template. I already kind of started and then I forgot that I had to film it. But anyway, I just want to recommend this craft knife. It's from the dollar store, but honestly it's one of the best that I've ever used. And so let's get started. Yep, this is what we're going for. I'm really hoping it looks good in the end, but this is still the same template we've been using. Every clip it's looking different, but let's hope for the best. Anyway, so now I'm going to be using contact cement to stick it all together, and I will see you at the next clip.
So it's not fully cured just yet, but this is a sample of a deltoid. So it will just sit right up here, or I guess maybe over here as such. And the thought or the idea is to, after everything is done, including the other deltoid, is to glue it in place pretty much right there. And then obviously these will come around and close in on each other. So yeah, that's one of the deltoids done. As you can see, it kind of looks like a computer mouse. Okay, so I got one of them completed. This might look a little bit strange, but hopefully I can explain this well enough so that it makes sense. So this is the bicep in the front, this is the tricep in the back, and then this is the giant deltoid. For all intents and purposes, this is pretty much done for this piece. This is the right arm. Oh, something else I forgot to mention is I also glued in a single sheet of foam here to reinforce the joint, I guess, between, like as in this seam here, the deltoid itself and then the bottom here. So when you wear it, it does look a bit strange because it's not strapped on and everything properly, but that should give you a good idea of what it looks like from the back. And then from the front, it will be somewhat as such. Of course, this is kind of sticking out right now, but like I said, it will strap to everything nice and tight and taut. Exhaustion, exhaustion, exhaustion. The time is now 4 a.m. in the morning. So your boy's gonna go to sleep, but the arms over here are finished. Here is the right arm. Bicep, tricep, deltoid. Here is the left arm, which didn't come out as clean, but it's good enough. Bicep, tricep, deltoid. Good night. Or morning.